Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of the Maxon Report. Tonight we have Jayden Thompson on from Texas. Big-time offensive tackle, 3-star. I think he's a little bit rated a little bit higher depending on where you look. Absolutely phenomenal young man. And, sir, welcome to the program. How you doing this evening?
Thank you. I'm doing really well.
Texas got to be over 100 degrees there, right? The last time I checked it.
It's been bad, real bad. Today was horrible, especially for workouts. We had no AC today. It was bad.
Oh, see, no. I can't relate as an Ohioan, but I did a long time in the Marine Corps. I spent some time in 29 Palms in Afghanistan. So the heat, I can relate to the heat, but I can't relate doing football in it. So. But yeah, man, let's dive right in. First of all, I want to thank you for your time and you being on. I know you have a busy schedule. I know you're going in your junior year. We'll dive into all that. But man, I want to start with the basics. You know, you're from Texas. Have you lived there all your life, or have you moved around a little bit?
I'm from Texas. I haven't always been in Lucas, Texas. I was born and raised in Fort Worth. And I started out there, and my mom got a job out here, and it was my 6th grade year that we had moved out after a year staying in Fort Worth.
Okay. I'm familiar a little bit with Fort Worth myself. Been through there, did a little time on the air base just outside of there, so definitely a little bit familiar. But, yeah, Lucas, Texas is where you're at right now. And did you start your love of football in Fort Worth, or was it more in Lucas?
It was definitely in Lucas because when I was younger, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, so I couldn't play any sports, so it never really interested me, and I was advised by my doctor not to play any sports, but as I got older, my pain got more tolerable, so when I got here, I was told by the coaches, it's called bump up day, where we go up to the next school for a day. And the coaches already told me I would start if I were to come play. So it was really the coaches pushing me to come play. And about halfway through the season, I joined, and that's where my football journey started.
Wow. And that's something that and I didn't even know offline, so I apologize ahead of time. What a battle. And you just kind of chose like, hey, you know, you live every day, you only go through life once, and you just rocked and rolled it?
Yes, sir.
Wow. No, my hat's off to you, Mr. Thompson. That is awesome. You. And when you went through that school, did you go through any Pee-wee, or did you kind of skip that because of the arthritis?
I'd never played any sport before I got to the middle school.
Wow. And when you got to middle school, kind of take me through that. Was that in Fort Worth, or was that in Lucas for Joygood?
It was actually in Lucas at that time. I was going to Willow Springs. I left my school when I was in 5th grade, and that's when we moved out. So I had no athletic and nothing to do with athletics in Fort Worth. I was pretty much just a regular student.
Wow. And you know, when you got to middle school, take me through that. Take me through that first year, that 7th grade. Did you strictly start on the offensive side of the line or defense, or were you a little bit of both?
I 100% started on offense, and I partially started. I rotated on defense, so I didn't know what I was doing at all. It was the first time I had ever touched a football field. So my first play ever playing football, I was on D-line, and I got right through to the quarterback, and I didn't know how to tackle. So I kind of just like wrapped around him, and he got off of me, and everyone in the stand, like I heard them cheering at first, and it kind of like died down a little bit. It's like kind of like an awe. So like I really do not know what I'm doing. That year I was actually at guard. They started me off at tackle, and then they moved me to guard because I just wasn't performing like they thought I would, because I wasn't athletic at the time. I wasn't there yet at all. I had no stamina. My muscles were kind of underdeveloped for a football player at the time. So once I started getting used to running and everything, and that's one of the main reasons I played basketball that year because I knew that my
Smart.
stamina was so like not there at all. Like I would watch everyone else run and it'd be compared to me. I'd be like, I really need to work on this. And then at the same time, it was the arthritis because at that time it still wasn't like that tolerable. I'd wake up some days and it'd be harder to walk because it's all in my lower half, like my hips, knees, and ankles. I would always feel it in my hips, and whenever the weather got bad in basketball season, if it would rain, it would get worse if it got too cold. So it was really trying to fight to get where I needed to be while also dealing with the arthritis.
Wow. And what an incredible story. So you go through that, your seventh grade year, you get the start, you go through the basketball off-season program as well. When the clock strikes zero on seventh grade, uh, take me through that eighth grade season. So now you've got some experience, you've got some endurance, you're putting in the work on the hard court and on the gridiron. What's that eighth grade season like? Is there a little bit less anxiety, or was it just like a little bit still everything balled up?
It was definitely easier for me just because my body was used to what I was going through. So that year is my first time doing what we do for summer. We do performance course. So it was that helped me so much because of all the strain that we had to put on our bodies to get through that. And then football season comes around and I'm at right tackle. And I go from right tackle to left guard that season. So I'm rotating between those two positions all season. And I see an improvement in what I'm able to do. And I go to basketball again. I go up to B team because I was on C team last year because I wasn't I'm not a basketball player in the slightest. But I got moved to B team. I'm moving better. I'm I'm able to run longer. I'm more athletic, especially in my legs because I wasn't the best bender. And at the end, when summer started, it was one of my coaches, Coach Lavender. He really got my process started early for me in middle school. He got me an invite to the Army Bowl camp, and I was the only middle schooler there. I think I really only won one rep, but the head coach of the thing, he knew how old I was, and he called me out. He asked me if I was actually in eighth grade. I told him yes, and that's really where everything started to pick up for me. I met some I met some of the coaches that I still talk to, college coaches that I still talk to now at that camp because I mean at that time I was huge, especially for my age. So that's really what my
Yes.
eighth grade year took place with. It was getting rotated more at O line. It was working myself in basketball, and it was that summer that I really started to work on O line because in my mind I really wanted to play left tackle. That was the position I wanted to play, and I told myself that I was going to play that position. So every day I was going to training with this guy named Tegan. He had played in the NFL. We would work for about an hour and a half, get a 30-minute lift in, and that'd be my day after PC.
Wow. And you go through all that your eighth grade year, and you just kind of summed up a question I was going to hint on. What your off season program was like. Working with that gentleman, especially somebody with the NFL experience. Man,
Mhm.
that's huge. That's always that is such a business and such a such a cutthroat in a good way competition. That's the best of the best. That's what we league takes you all through here. You get to your freshman year. Uh, Tell me what day one is that you check in your freshman year. You obviously you know your love for football. You're going towards it, and take me through that off-season program building up to week one, because statistically we'll dive into it. You had a hell of a year with some honors, but really take me through those 2 days in the camp, leading to week one in 2024, if I'm not mistaken.
So our report time that year was actually 9 o'clock. So we'd go from 9 to 10:30 for PC. We'd get 45 minutes of agility and just running, and then we get a 45-minute lift in. Then I'd go home, rest, and at about 1:30, I'd go for my 2-hour workout with Tegan. And I get my first camp invite. One of my coaches was actually there. His name was Coach Boyd. He was one of the O-line coaches. And I line up at left tackle, and I do really good. And there's just one guy. He was amazing. I still remember exactly what he looks like. And he's really one of the reasons that I am where I am right now, because it really showed me how much I needed to grow to be where I needed to be. So for our school, it's just if you're a freshman, you get pulled up to 2 weeks before school starts, and you get 2 weeks of straight football with PC. So you go to PC, and then you get a break, and then you probably at the facility until like 5 o'clock. So you would watch film, sometimes lift, go to practice, watch film, eat, leave. And we did that for 2 weeks. And that whole time I was at left tackle. And that was really something that meant a lot to me, because it had showed what I was doing was worth my time and effort and what I was really pouring into my position. So my freshman year, I feel like I did amazing. I was really trying to show what I had learned and what I'd become from 8th to my freshman year. Even my friends told me that I had gotten so much better. Some of my friends' parents, and it was really uplifting for me just hearing that what I had done was like truly translating to what I wanted to become one day. So I'm pretty sure we finished that year 8-2. I know that I didn't have any sacks that year, my freshman year, and it was just an amazing experience seeing where I had come just in a year's time.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I got you guys at 10-4, and some amazing stats here. You look at Frisco Liberty, 76-0. That's a testament to both the offensive and the defensive line. And I look at wins against Anna, 66-62. What a shootout. Team's named Frisco. You guys just Frisco Independence, 70-0. We got you in all the way to the regional finals and the playoffs. And, you had Zach Jones at 300 yards rushing. And, your lead quarterback over 1,300 yards on the ground. That is an absolute testament. And it starts in the tackles. We call them tanks where I coach. We call the units tanks. And, I say you live and you die in the trenches and with the tanks. And that is, that's something I truly believe in as a coach. And, even as a player that I played on the outside. But, 10-4 overall, massive wins. And, all credit to you there for your own individual achievements. Second team all district as a freshman. Take me through that when you heard that, or when somebody read that to you. What does that feel like? Because your story is incredible. You go from the arthritis middle school to minimal knowledge, and that's not a knock on you. Then you go to starting as a freshman, the work, the sweat, the blood, everything that goes with it, training on the side. Really take me through that. When you get to the regional finals and the clock strikes 0, kind of take me from there going into from your freshman to your sophomore offseason, if you don't mind.
So freshman to sophomore offseason, I was I was happy but sad at my performance because for me, I feel like I criticize myself too much, but I'm probably never going to stop doing it. That off season, I really wanted to work on my run game technique because I realized I was lacking in certain areas. And that off season, I was pushed by a lot of the older guys. They really helped me understand that there's no breaks to this, and you're always going. It's full go. You don't get to pick and choose when you want to be the best of yourself. You show up and you are the best of yourself. And there's this guy, Major Smith. I'll always look up to him. He pushed me to the point where I didn't know I could be pushed. An O line when we were running, when we were lifting, he pulled me into his rack and made sure I did all my lifts. He made sure I didn't wasn't doing too little weight. He would always make me go next to him or right after him whenever we were running. He would he would yell at me, make sure I'm running through the line. He was really that role model for me to show me that if this is who you want to be, you have to show me this is who you want to be. And then once I get to my sophomore year, we're right next to each other now. He was at right tackle the year before. Now he's at left guard, and I mean he's a monster. I get to watch his film all the time. I still watch it to this day. Just watching him, the way he doesn't care about the other team's feelings or anything. He's really focused
Yes.
on doing what he knows he needs to do, because whenever he went out there, he always felt like he had something to prove. I really took his attitude into consideration. Now that he's gone, someone has to step up for the O line. I'm trying my best to be as good of a leader as he was, but just the physicality that he brought to the O line and the role pretty much took me under his wing and just showing me what I needed to become. That was one of the biggest things for me.
Wow. Let me start by saying, as a coach, you gave me some goosebumps there, man. Hell yes. Strictly business. Going out there, not caring about the other team's feelings, doing what you got to do, playing with a chip on your shoulder, always wanting to reach that next level. And I promise you, even outside, and you're such a young man, and I get excited, as you can tell, because of the coach in me. It takes you to the next level in life as well. What you learn on the gridiron, what you learn in a weight room, and I tell the young men all the time that I coach, this will take you far beyond your days on a gridiron. Your days are far from over, but just next level in business, relationships. How you do as a family man, how you do as a best friend. All those things in life. You're teaching it, and you summed it up so well. I couldn't have put it any better. And I want to congratulate you and keep pushing that leadership style to the young guys. You're going into your junior season now. It's going to pay off. It's going to pay off as a culture. So laying down that foundation as a culture, Mr. Thompson, sounds like you're on it. And we'll take you a little bit through that sophomore season. A little down. We're not here to talk about the bad times. I know 6-5 overall, but still some amazing games out here. Frisco again. You guys love that. You guys love that name, Frisco Liberty. 63-19 victory. Frisco Independent 59-0. Denson. You guys take care of business there. 35-28 in a nail biter. Frisco Memorial 49-0 again. You reach into the playoffs. It doesn't go the way you wanted, but it sounds like you guys were in a little bit of a leadership overhaul when losing your seniors between your freshman year and having underclassmen step up from your freshman to your sophomore year. You're still rocking it. You still had your running backs. Zach Jones had 938 yards on the ground. I'm gonna butcher his first name, but Ellis 8.71 yards per carry as your secondary back. And again, that's all in the trenches, man. And 1,834 yards passing and 20 TDs. You guys are still killing in the pass protection. 60% completion rating from your quarterback. A little down in the year before. I want to give him some love. In 2024, he had 2,862 yards passing with 35 touchdowns. So again, the trenches, you got to keep him clean and upright. The culture there, you guys are doing it. So, congratulations again to you, your teammates, your high school. That's a lot to be proud of. I know it didn't go your way 100%, but, here you are. The clock strikes 0. The playoff game kind of ends. Take me through that, mentality now that you're going into the junior year. Now everybody knows your name. You're a bona fide leader. You are now the upperclassman status. What's that like this offseason right now and everything that comes with it on the leadership aspect?
So, especially after that game, I was I wasn't really feeling anything at first. I was kind of just there, like, dang, we really just lost to Argyle again. And then I see my right tackle that year. His name is Jack Miller. I see him, and he's holding his face. And then at that point, I really couldn't hold in anymore. And if I'm being honest, I started crying, and I realized that this really is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I look around, the whole O line, we're devastated. And it's the first time I'd seen Major sad. I didn't see him cry at the time, but you could kind of see the marks on his eyes. I was like, we really all worked for this, and for it to end like that, obviously none of us were really thrilled about that, obviously. But it was also a teaching moment for me because it helped me realize that you're not just playing so that you can get better. Because that was some of my teammates' last games. They're never gonna touch a football field again and be put on a team sheet, be like, this player is playing tonight. You're playing for the people around you way more than yourself, because all it takes is, what if I miss a block, my quarterback and my running back can be done. If a wide receiver misses a block, we can lose another wide receiver. It's really that you're playing for the people around you, because if you're missing one piece of the puzzle, nothing's going to go right. So it showed me, especially that moment in itself showed me that you have to really think about what my coach says in our program, big team, little me. It's really something I started to live by after that, because I I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for my wide receiver across the field, or I'm doing this for my quarterback that's behind me. I'm doing my job as pretty much a wall to make sure that everyone on my team can stay as healthy as possible. And this off season, I love our PC coach. His name is Coach Baca. He always gets us ready. He's he's really he's involved with Christ, and I love that. He speaks to us. He gives us words of the week. The word of the week this week was attitude. Being able to control your attitude. He told us this quote today. He said, "Life is 10% of what happens to you, and 90% of how you respond to it." And he really brought that up today. The AC's out. You need to forget about that and do what you came here to do. And so I love him as a coach. We have some other new coaches that I'm starting to bond with, and just being able to be there with this new O line. They're pretty much this is a middle school O line. Pretty much, we're all together again, and we're all working for a common goal to go farther in the playoffs this year. We're running for an hour, lifting for an hour. We have 50-40s at the end. I'm ready for that, because I know that I'm going to do better than last year. So this is our third week. We only had one OTA. We're going to have another one this Wednesday. But for me, this offseason, things I know I need to work on is just speaking up for others even when I'm tired. That's really one thing I want to work for my leadership, because yet again, I'm not there for myself. I'm there for others. I need to be there for them even when I'm tired, because it doesn't matter how tired you are in a football game. If you have to go on the field, you have to go on the field. In that fourth quarter, no one cares how you feel. It's really, can you do what you need to do while you're tired? So Coach Baca, whenever we're doing a hard workout, so we don't have, if we don't have like a stations day, we'll run quarters where we're running instead of down and back, we're running across the field. And whenever we get to our last set, he'll have whoever thinks the best say fourth quarter, and everyone else says count on me. And we'll say it as many as times as we want until we're done. And then we'll break it out at state champs, then we'll run and we'll get it over with, and we'll go right in the weight room. So it's really, it's a team bonding experience, but it's also being able to work with the people that you know you're going to have to count on in a few months, and being able to trust the fact that they're going to do your job and you're going to be able to do your job right next to them.
Amen, man. I love to hear that. I love to hear that. And just explaining it that way. And the words of affirmation, and that message, 90%, 10%, 10%, what happens to you, 90% of how you react to it. Dude, I love that. And 100 degrees in Texas when the AC comes out, that's a hell of a day to say it too. And because that's life, man. That's life. That's that's in the fourth quarter. You're tired. Somebody rolled some extra weight on you. You got a bruise starting. You got it's a little bit harder to breathe. Your equipment fits a little bit tighter because you're puffed up more. And all those things, they translate to film. They translate to being on a gridiron on Fridays. And you love to hear that, man. And I love to hear that you're stepping up. I love to hear that the continuity on the offensive line and your tank unit, that I'll call it. But man, that's awesome. Really don't have much to ask. Past that. I know that the upcoming season for us, we're like 60-something days away, and I know that's coming right around the corner. Is there a game before I dive into some other things going on? Is there a game that you have circled this year, or is it just week one? I'm just kind of curious.
Argyle. Play Argyle again this year. This year's going to be different, 100%. That's actually, I have a story. So Frisco Reedy and Argyle, whenever we were doing our first matches, our coaches, what they did, they printed out pictures of both of them, and they said, put your opponents in the racks with you and see if they can hang with you. So Argyle and Frisco Reedy, those are the two schools that I'm ready to go against, because those are the schools that I put my maxes on against, and I'm trying to show them that they can do the same things that we're going to do, but we're going to do it better, because it's not the what you do, it's the how you do it. And we have worked to the point where, we didn't want to walk anymore, but it's just the uplifting fact that you have people rooting for you, even though they don't have to root for you. You just know they are, because of the trust we have in each other. Because I feel that we truly are a team that is going to work for each other no matter how we feel. So Argyle, Frisco Reedy, those are the two schools that I'm ready to play against this year.
That's awesome. I will be, like I said, I told you offline before we got on here. We track our guest season as it goes along. I will personally, before I log off on here tonight, circle it. I'll check back in with you when it gets closer, and we'll definitely track a lot of that and some final results. Man, that's awesome. It's got me ready to go over here. I love that. And I want to ask you a little bit. Yeah, no, I'm serious, man. It just gets me going. My love for the game is playing, coaching, giving back, being out there, seeing how things go, even through good and bad. It gets me going on a different gear. But you guys are rocking and rolling right now in your off season. You also got a lot of personal stuff going here on the recruitment side. In this day and age, in the NIL and digital, emails, Twitter, Huddle, things of that nature. A lot of things that I didn't have back in 2007. It used to be a pen and paper somebody with a hearing aid and thick glasses come up and ask me a few questions, watch a few workouts, and I just send them a reel like this thick. Tell me what it's like a little bit through your recruitment process. Early, how that's like, technology wise, and have you been anywhere, visit wise? I won't ask you on a tilt scale, just your experience with the whole recruitment process in general.
So I love it. I love being able to see all these different places and what they have to offer and comparing them to what is really going to fit me the most. So for schools that I visited, I went to SMU. It was a splash day. We had some water games to play, and I got to see one of my teammates was with me. I got to see one of my friends. Actually got to see two of my main friends that play O line at different schools, and I played against one of them. So that was like a little water gun vendetta we had against each other there. I went to Texas. It wasn't really like a visit; it was still a camp, but
Yeah.
it was a small camp for really everyone they were looking at. I got to talk to the coaches. I did good there. They said I was one of the top guys. I went to A&M for a camp. I did good there. I got to talk to my coach again. I got to see what it was like out there. I thought it was hot out here. It really does not compare out there. It is. I was burning, if I'm being honest. Then I go to Ohio State. It's an even smaller camp than Texas was for me, and, and I get to really experience what it's like to be with Coach Bowen, and I really like him. I like how he explains O line. I like how he makes sure that we know what we're going to be seeing in college, because I'll just explain it. One of my reps, I put my arms back and then went forwards. It's not something I do voluntary. It just happens. He made me redo it, and he explained why I had to redo it. I did it again. I did better, and I was congratulated. It was really just knowing what I'm going to see in college when I was with him. So the recruitment process has been amazing. It gets really stressful with the time management sometimes, but other than that,
Yeah.
it's really just being able to talk with all these coaches, getting to know the reporters, building relationships with who I need to build relationships to. And it's been a blessing for me, because I really don't know where I would be without the uplifted traction that I got in eighth grade because of my coach. And if my coaches hadn't pushed me in eighth grade to join football, that would that wouldn't I just don't know where I would be currently in my recruitment process.
And that's a big testament to the staff behind you, supporting you behind the scenes, supporting you, going to that next level while also continuing to work with you. And that to hear those eighth grade and seventh grade coaches, really got you mentally there and worked with you. And just your story again for anybody that's tuning in. I have 412 live viewers on Twitter alone right now. Thank you to everybody tuning in. Jayden Thompson, Lucas, Texas, Lovejoy High School, going into his junior year. For anybody that didn't hear us when we first started, the battling the arthritis, waiting up the not waiting, but having your opportunity and taking it, your middle school year, and absolutely blowing everything out of the water in the most positive ways, in leadership and in skill and in the weight room. Just continues on and on. And that's awesome, man. And the recruitment process, yeah, it's always fun to hear. I love asking you guys, just being at a different age where contact is just so much at your fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
Meetings are easier to get to with emails and setting stuff up like that. And I'm from Ohio, so I'm a little biased, but great to hear. We had Greer, the Ohio State freshman left tackle on about 3 months ago. So to
Okay.
hear both stories with the same coach, it's always kind of really inspiring to hear, how they're doing business and how they're doing business in general in NCAA, even for Texas and Texas A&M. That's so cool, such an experience for you guys to get up there. So just all the colleges in general. I won't harp on any one of them, but but yeah, no, we've had you on for a little over 37 minutes now. I want to ask you a little bit of a fun question. You know,
Okay.
you have the stress, you battle the arthritis, you're absolutely killing it in the trenches. You're coming off two solid years. What do you like to do in off season to relax? How do you unplug? Uh, you know, what do you do? What do you kind of do for fun to kind of like decompress?
So it's either one of two things. I play video games with my friends, or I start working on my card collection because I'm a card collector. So if there's ever like a convention or a card show I can go to, I'm almost always there. I've been doing this for pretty much since I started football, and I've been continuing to do it over and over. It's something I do year round. And I've been told that's something you don't hear that much, which I'm kind of surprised about because all the people I see at these card conventions. But I'm a huge card collector, and I'll play the game with my friends sometimes. Sometimes we'll go hang out. But the main thing that I do is working on my card collection.
And when you say card, is there a specific sport, hobby, or theme with them?
Football, baseball, and Pokemon cards.
I still collect Pokemon cards. I was in an era. I was
Mhm.
born in '89, so I have all the original decks. OG went to my
Okay.
parents' house like 5 years ago in their barn. Got the stacks, stacks on stacks on stacks. Reorganize everything. That's awesome. My kids are into it,
Okay.
so definitely refreshing to hear that. They're cheering downstairs. They're watching me. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You know, and we as we wrap up here, I always kind of throw the final question because I know you got two full seasons left. You got your junior year. We're going into your senior year after that. But you know, I know as a coach, you're going to the next level. It's happening. What can that next level locker room and community expect from Mr. Jayden Thompson? Any coach, staff member, or recruitment that's listening right now? I'm going to give the mic to you. You know what can they expect on day one when you walk through those doors?
They can really expect someone who's there to prove himself worthy of where he's at the current time. I'm not someone who's going to show up and be a little bit timid. I'm going to work because I know those summer workouts are going to be hard, but I mean what else can you do but work through them? So I'm really going to show up and show them that I am who I say I am. I'm not there to gloat that I've been there. I'm there to work because that's all I want to do with this sport. I want to get better. I want to show everyone that I'm not I'm not overrated in any sort of way. I want to my coach calls it the hammer. I want to be the hammer on everything that I do. I want to I want to work people to a level they haven't been at before. I know I have to work on that myself still, but once I get to that next level, there's going to be no change in a negative way for me. I'm going to work as hard as I can. I'm going to learn as much as I can. I'm going to work to never be late. Always try to be the best version of me, not let any factors that I can't control alter what I do at that current time because you can only control what you control. And when you learn that you can only control what you control and your attitude is where it needs to be, you're always the best version of yourself. I feel that that's really when people start to show their true colors and who they really are in the times where they didn't they didn't think they would need to be the best versions of themselves.
Wow, Mr. Thompson, I'm not going to ask anything else because that is a damn good answer. That's as a coach, I love to hear it. As a person, I love to hear that. You're such a young man, so much left in front of you. Congratulations on everything you've achieved so far, and good luck and congratulations to the upcoming season. to you and your teammates over at Lovejoy High School in Lucas, Texas. This has been the Maxon Report with Jayden Thompson. I'm going to have this on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, X. It's going to be on our main page, along with Facebook, Instagram, everywhere else like that. We'll make sure it reaches out there. We're ending the night on 462 live viewers alone on Twitter, not counting everything else. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in. Thank you to everybody that's commented. I have a Miss Nicole Holmes said, "So proud of you, son. Keep grinding." She commented in. Want to make sure you hear that. And thank you again for your time. And you did say time scheduled recruiting. I know this is kind of a part of it in a phase. What an excellent interview. One of the best I've had in a really long time, sir. If there's anything this program can do for you moving forward, don't be afraid to call, text. My phone's always on. I'm a coach foremost for, not just the kids that I'm with every day. I'm a coach in life, a coach for the game. And we love having you on. And thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. And this has been the Coach Jordan Maxon. This has been offensive tackle Jayden Thompson. Y'all have a great night, and God bless.